out, the stranger gave him a friendly pat. Then he told him he'd see him again, as he always drove by the park on his way home.
How did you two meet?
She was at my best friend's place when I went over there one night.
Say it, Will.
She started singing.
Say it, Will.
And I was like, you're good.
But I
should
didn't.
start a band.
No. yeah, that too. But I didn't have his number or know his name.
But she was kind of there on purpose.
Not at that first spot.
Oh.
But then I just say it, Will.
Say what?
Say it.
You stalked me?
Yeah.
Oh. That's
It's
fun.
known. It's a known fact. I knew who's working at like this ice cream shop, and I was like driving around it to see if I was gonna go in, because I knew he played music, but for some reason, I mean, this is before we really hung out ever, but for some reason I was like, I want to play music with that guy. Like, I don't know why.
That's legit though. You get feelings about people before you really know them.
It was so strange, because I was like, I'd never heard one thing you had done at all, and I didn't know your band. Like, I knew you were in a band. I was just like, I would play music with that guy. And then, I mean, I was also like, he's cute, whatever. But sorry.
That's cool.
You know, I thought that anyway.
Moving on.
Anyway. So then I was driving. I knew he worked at this ice cream place, and I'm like lactose intolerant, but I also I didn't really want to eat, they have like a vegan flavor.
She would just come in and like make conversation.
No, but the first time before I ever, at all, I was like on the phone with my mom, and I'm like, okay, I'm outside, I can't go in. She was like, go in. And I was like, no, what would that even mean? Like, that's so weird. And she's like, why, what is it that like, go in. So I was just like, no. And then I drove around, she was like, park and go in. And then, because there was a struggle, like I swirled around that place a lot. Also, there was no parking.
Yeah.
But, so finally I was like, okay, I'm gonna go in. And then I walked up. Oh, the woman that did costume designing is the person I ran into in front of in front of the
Did you know her?
Yeah. So I was like, what am I going to do? I'm going to walk in and be like, I don't want any ice cream. Hey, it was like, because I didn't want any.
Yeah.
Did you get one anyway?
No, but I walked up and I was like, oh, God, this is going to be so weird. And then these friends I knew were there, and I was like,
oh,
hey,
yeah.
you guys! I thought I looked at them and I'm like, what? You're not? Shut up. Hold on one second. Like, talk to my friend.
Yeah, I saw that happen kind of, and I was like, oh, that was unfortunate.
It's really fun. And then I walked in and was like, yeah, I'm just, you were like, what are you doing? And I was like, around. There's like nothing else around there, like really, honestly. I was like, yeah, around. So it's, what are you up to tonight? Is there something fun going on? And you were like, gang dance show, and then I was like, oh yeah, I was thinking about going to that. Like, I didn't know about that. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll see you there. I'll probably go. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. So maybe see you tonight. And then I went, and then we hung out one time, and then decided to be a bit.
Oh wow.
But we decided to start Tearist, which was everything. We didn't know if it was going to be a band. It was just like art or like anything, like I really liked what he does. Like, I really currently like and have liked everything he's done aesthetically. I've always thought it was like really solid, like it had like a definite idea. And I kind of like, when I first saw it, I was like envious of it, because I was like, I don't meet anybody can do that. Like, I would never be in a band with somebody that could do that, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, like, I knew that he was good, like, artistically, visual art, you know, so that was interesting. And it was kind of just a project to be, like, our movement. That's what I always talk
It's like
about.
a match made in heaven.
That's
No, I wanted to be an archaeologist and an astronaut.
Wait, but I mean, like, past, like, second grade.
Past second grade? I really didn't think of it much after that. First thing musically I picked up was bass. I took, an uncle of mine gave me a bass, like an electric bass. And then when I was like 12 and I took lessons for a few months, learned like a couple of Nirvana songs, and then I was just like, oh, this is easy. And I was like,
Stop taking lessons.
Stop taking lessons. And then I would just, you know, I just played with my friends ever since. When I was like 12, I was like, oh, this is cool. Oh, actually, the reason why I took lessons was because friends of mine and I, my neighbors, like.
Said you were really bad.
What?
I'm sorry.
No, like the three guys, they were like the closest neighbor friends that I had in my neighborhood. We were all like, when I got the bass, I think another friend of mine had gotten the guitar, and then this is like the early '90s, and we were like, oh, we're gonna start a Guns N' Roses cover band. We're gonna be called Pistols and Petals.
Wow.
So we're gonna get lessons, and we're gonna start this band.
Pistols and Petals. Yeah. Why am I hearing about this for the first time?
You gotta have dreams and goals and stuff, but you know.
What happened?
Nothing. Like, you know, we talked about it once and then just forgot about it.
How about your?
I've just been acting my whole life, and also singing. Like, I would like sing. Well, when I was in Iran, women aren't supposed to sing, so I would always sing. Like, everything, like, I was told that I couldn't do, I would always do it, like, extra.
Yeah.
Like, I laughed really loudly one time, and I had to wear a chador. Is that called something else here? I don't know what it's called.
Scarf?
I don't.
Full, and I was like, actually it's before I was 12. When I was like 4 or something, I remember laughing, like, really loudly about something. And my uncle was like, oh, you can't laugh like that because that means you're a prostitute. And so then I was like, ha, like, and then it like stuck, my laugh like just stuck being loud. I mean, it's not like, I don't laugh like, ha,
No, it's loud.
but it's loud.
It'll just be like there all of a sudden.
Yeah, and like, we would like do like during the war stuff or whatever, when everybody was all in one spot, like, I knew that my like step uncles also didn't like it when like I would sing, because they were, fundamentalists, ultimately, religion wise, it's Iran, so like they could not get away from me singing, which was like, women don't sing. So I just like sang all the time, performed all the time, which was like the lowest common denominator. It's like, that's the lowest thing you can do.
Be a performer?
Is be a performer. That's like just like being like a clown. That's like me being a clown that just does like balloon dogs,
Yeah.
It's like, that's actually not the lowest here, but to them.
It's if you were like saying you were an actor and then that's what you did, you dressed up like a clown and introduced kids or
Yeah,
something.
okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
But so I was like singing all the time, and like my mom spoke Turkish, and there was this like progressive Turkish like song that like I had heard. Anyway, but I always wanted to sing. Then I grew up mostly being, I was acting all the time. I was in like many plays at the same time, and then I got a film and the part started getting written for me as an actor.
Pinnacle, like, of success, like as a musician, where's your goal? Where do you want? How famous do you want to be?
We've surpassed our goal a long time ago.
The first show. The first show.
That was it.
The first show, actually.
When our friends came up to us and were like, "That was cool."
No, when they compared us to like our favorite bands,
Yeah.
which we don't sound like.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was
somehow
a feeling.
that came through.
Yeah, like it was like emotional. Like that's when we were like, I was like, at that moment, I was like, I could die. Happy. Like
It's all down. Would
Because
you
then
say
there
it's
were
all
people-
downhill since then, or?
No, it's always fun.
everything's just been like,
Yeah.
like oh shit, that too. Oh my god, it's like all toppings, you know.
Yeah.
Like I think it's good to not expect anything, because then you can't be disappointed.
You guys have day jobs. Do you support? How do you support yourself financially?
I do.
I do as well. Why don't you go and tell about your new job?
I'm installing audio equipment.
Oh, okay.
It's really
Who do you work for?
American Apparel.
Oh, okay. You're installing audio equipment for them, or you like
Just for them
freelance?
exclusively.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is a new thing.
It's new.
I used to, but I didn't last semester. I think was the first semester that I fully didn't. I've been a substitute teacher for a few years.
What grade?
You're
High
looking-
school.
A lot of high school, actually.
You gotta stop doing it.
I did. So, I mean, it was harder to kind of.
When the kids are like, I saw your show last night, and then
No, I mean, because now there's so much stuff on the internet.
Yeah.
And now I'm in a film, and the title is
It's All American Orgy.
right. And I'm on like Mr. Skin for like where you can see my side boob, like like that kind of stuff. But I mean, and then they'll look up the video that I have with like Eric, and it's just
Yeah.
like because they're huge. I mean,
Yeah.
it's high school, so they
Yes.
started saying stuff like, "Oh, were you in Vice? Were you in this?" And I'd be like, "Don't talk to me," like
The
because I'm
students
like,
would.
yeah, and I slowly was like, "Oh no," it like flipped. Because we had been doing the band and nothing, I definitely needed the job and we weren't, I wasn't spending like all day like emailing or whatever, or sleeping. But no, it wasn't to that level where they would go, "Oh, I saw you at Coachella, and you were rolling in the grass with your friend."
It wasn't at that level, but it was more like I seen you on the internet, like with Tim and Eric or something.
Yeah, I mean, and also like, I don't usually give them my last name. I mean, because Kittles is kind of like a death wish. It's like, "Oh, Miss Kittles." Like, I mean, come on. There's
Yeah.
a million. I was in.
Do you go by
school.
Miss K?
No, I go by Miss Yasmine.
Oh,
or just
okay.
Yasmine.
that's good. Yeah, Miss Yasmine.
And then I never tell them my last name because then they immediately, everybody has a phone, they immediately
They're
look it up.
Googling it in class.
Yeah,
right now.
no. I mean, one time somebody came up when I was away from the desk and saw like my full name and looked at it. I mean, it's all kinds of crazy stuff. And also though, I mostly taught in Beverly Hills and I'm like half Persian, so I speak Farsi fluently and would hear them. I mean, this has nothing to do with like them seeing me on the internet, but they would say stuff like, what they wanted to do to me or like in Farsi. And I would just let them go all class, or they'd be cheating.
Would you say it at the end? You'd be
I
like,
just,
Yeah.
They'd just walk out and I'd be like, in Farsi, I'd be like, "So you wanted to do what to me?" Or at the end of them like cheating on the entire test, I'd be like, in Farsi, I'd be like, "The answer is da da da," like, and rip it up. Because I'm like, don't fuck with me. Like, I was there.
Or what
like-
about when you got caught like in the halls?
Oh, yeah, no. And I, like, when I was doing a lot of high school, I would get stopped in the halls, like where
Like by
you're
the
supposed to be.
Dean or
Yeah,
something?
like, I would get in trouble.
Like as if she's a student.
Wow.
Or like I'd walk into a classroom and then some kids would be like, "So like, are you like a new kid? Like, are you new here? Like, do you go to our school?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I go to your school and I'm teaching your class. Isn't that crazy?" And they don't get sarcasm if you're the teacher.
Yeah.
And so they just like stare and I'm like, I don't go to your school. I'm like 100 years old. Not really. You all look 100 years old. I'm just kidding. Oh, I had my phone taken away from me.
Oh, wow.
At an assembly. I'm serious. And I was like, oh. My first thought was, oh, man, I
can't believe this is happening
they were
again.
like, they were like, you can get this at the end of, you can get this at the end of the day. And I was like, and then I'm like, wait, I'm the teacher. Like, I went back and like, the woman was so nasty to me, grabbed my arm like aggressively, and then a few minutes later she's like, oh my God, honey, I am so sorry. That is a compliment. And I'm like, what part of the compliment was when you squeezed my arm?
Yeah, that's some strange kind of like ageism right there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's an interesting like way for me to actually kind of see what because I'd go into the teacher's lounge and hear them just talking shit about like the kids, and like I'm like really? You know, like you have like no life. This is it for you. I mean, I don't know. I liked when I actually got to teach. Like I was offered a full-time math teaching position, and I mean, I would never take it because that's your life.
Did you get your like bachelor's or did you just take that test?
I when I lived in Texas, you just had to have a bachelor's, and so I started teaching in Texas. And then when I got here, it was harder to get a job unless you had experience. So I already had a lot of experience, and then I took the ski vest, and like that was pretty much it. And then they were like hired immediately. Yeah, and I'm just really good at math.
What do you have? You have your bachelor's in math, I assume?
No.
No? Okay. What's your
I'm just good
bachelor's?
at it. In theater and dance. And then I was focusing on Meisner, the Meisner technique, and then I had a minor in psychology.
Oh, wow. Man, it's pretty accomplished.
I mean, I guess, like, I'm really not, like, rolling in any money.
Well, yeah.
I'm still having to do a Kickstarter
Academically,
where I go on a date
you're
with
pretty
somebody.
accomplished.
Like, I went to college, but I'll go on a date with you for, like, $600.
So it's come to this.
It's like, here's my degree.
That's just the music industry. That's just reality.
Yeah. Your parents, are they...
I'm like an only child. I mean, I have two half sisters, but I'm an only child, really. You know? Are you?
I am as well. I have a half brother.
But you knew him.
My parents are proud of me. But
Do they
it's
have
just
a
like
shrine?
in a normal, but like.
But my mom's like, do you have your? Oh, for Christmas one year, my dad was like, if you were like gonna get like a pot or something, what kind of pot? Like literally, tried to go to Home Depot to find pipes, because I use metal.
Yeah.
Like, so for Christmas, he like...
Oh, he wanted to get you a pipe.
I didn't tell you this.
No.
He went to Home Depot and like wanted to find like really
He got you this.
vintage looking one. Like, I'm not even joking.
I actually went recently and priced it. It's like $1 something per foot for the pipe.
You went and priced it.
Yeah, it was like
He
a
said,
dollar.
I didn't know what y'all wanted, so
I mean,
here's this.
the original one is pretty fucked up.
No, it is fucked up. That's why I cut my hand.
I know.
Is it still, did you use the one that he gave you, or did he end up getting
He never gave. He finally he was like, okay, I'm gonna. Like, he's like, I don't know what kind of pipe. He's basically said that he had gone to Home Depot. He'd told them about me.
I'm sure everywhere he goes, he tells them that. Like, my daughter.
No, I went to the bank.
They're called
at the grocery store.
They're called terrorists.
No, it's just terrorists.
They're called terrorists.
It is terrorist.
Yeah, it is.
But him saying terrorist is also the same thing as him saying terrorist.
Terrorists.
Without any knowledge.
Yeah, they're both the same word.
Same word. But he took me to the bank. Like, I was like, what are we doing? In the grocery store. And he's like, everybody wants to meet you.
Yeah.
And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
I met his banker too.
Did you?
Yeah.
No, that was a different bank.
I think it was a different one, yeah.
I went to the grocery store bank, and they're like, Yasmine, oh, we loved your interview with da-da-da-da. How's your bandmate? Is he coming out? And I was just like, I am so sorry. I apologized to them. I was like, I'm really, really sorry. Like, and they're like, no, it's sweet. And I'm like, like he walked away and I'm like, sorry.
Yeah.
Papa K.
You didn't get like a sense of like, hey, I'm a celebrity here. Everyone knows my name. No.
That's just everywhere.
No, but when I got off the plane, every time too, but this time especially, I was like late off the plane because like if I don't look nice or something, my mom will be like, so you don't wash your hair when you come to visit friends? Like it's always like, you know, family.
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
So I like have to go to the bathroom and act like I'm like gonna go see a boyfriend or something, you know, like, fix my hair, like, you know, and then so I'm the last one to come out from the plane, and I swear I was like going down these stairs, like it was like an award show or something. I don't even know.
Were you in heels?
Yeah. Oh, I was. Yeah.
Dolled up.
Always in heels, but I'm going down, and then my dad starts clapping for me, and my mom's like, I mean, just because they're so excited to see me, but then everyone else starts looking.
Yeah.
And
Did other
then-
people clap a little bit too?
No, but they were then all of a sudden we're like,
Just a little bit.
you know, like we should know who that is. And then later on,
They
my dad's
pretended to.
like, after that Conan thing, y'all are famous. He's like, I know it. I mean, I saw people in that airport looking at you like they wanted you to sign something. You want to go back in there? I'm
Go
like,
back.
no, nobody wanted me to sign it. They were just looking at me because I'm like not wearing pants, and you all clapped. like for the whole duration of my like down my descent down.
That'd be awesome. You should trade parents.
Yeah,
They'll adopt you in addition to your own parents.
I love my parents.
Can you have a double parent?
You can.
Can you get a double?
You can do whatever you want.
Hell yeah! That's our motto.
Yeah.
That's
you
the
can have a
band's
double
motto.
parent, or you can do whatever you want. Which one?
Both.
Both. That's the band motto: is you can have a double parent. Here, you
Yeah.
know, like about anything, like.
Yeah. Does it bother you, like when you see somebody that's not like reacting to your music, like that just, you know, with the stone face? You know?
It doesn't bother me, but it might bother you.
It really bothers me. I mean, actually, no, if I see someone still watching, but they're watching,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
That's amazing. But like being
Well,
on
if
your
they're-
phone or
if
something,
they're
like,
talking.
that's fun.
Yeah, because I never want, I mean, if I'm at a show and I'm able to have a conversation, like, that's not a good sign. Like, I never want to be able to have a conversation during a show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, the opposite of love is not hate, it's fucking indifference. It seriously is. I've been thinking about it so much lately, but it...
Is that your quote?
Me?
You
Yeah.
come up with- That's a good one.
Yeah.
Thanks. So sometimes when, like, they say your name, you know that they're actually a fan.
Yeah.
Fan. And then everything you do, like, matters. Like, if you say, like, if you give them if you don't say hello,
If you don't let them touch your ass.
if you like, you know, tell them to shut the fuck up, you know,
Yeah.
all
If you
these
say,
things,
"Get off the
they'll be like,
stage," it's
fucking
it's
bitch.
not cool. Yeah.
You know, like, that girl was a bitch. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, like, because then, you know, like, stuff happens where it's like on Twitter that night, somebody wrote something like, Yasmine from Tearist, or I held the door for Yasmine from Tearist in the bathroom, and she smiled at me. Day made.
Yeah. See,
Wow.
that's cute.
And I was like, because it's like,
Just
really,
like that.
like, it all matters.